What's going on, everyone? For this week's video, I brought to you the Aerith or AERITH'S death scene from the original Final Fantasy VII, where Cloud lays her to rest into the waters between the Sleeping Forest and the Northern Crater, returning her back to the live stream. Not gonna lie, playing this for the first time as a kid in 7th grade, this whole experience really got me choked up. And if you didn't tear up, you're probably dead inside or a real monster. This was a pivotal keystone moment in my video game youth, a moment that I will never forget. So this is me memorializing it to keep that moment to live on forever.
Forever, 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 forever.
To start things off, I'm going to cut a piece of 3x5 or so insulated XPS foam to form my base. And in this base, I'm creating a little bit of a slope to represent the beach of the water area for where Cloud sends off Aerith or Aerith. Gonna do some pre-measurements and then cut into my base to create that beachy slope. Here I'm cutting more into the base to create a more realistic slope or beach. Gonna double check my measurements. Now to glue the base onto the piece of acrylic. Now to sever off Cloud's arms to get him into holding position. Now to sever off the other arm. Don't worry, we'll put his arms back together so he can hold Aerith. I'm gonna do the same thing with his legs, but get him into kneeling position. Now for his other leg. Here's just me showing off my new Trigger Eye Water airbrush. Wasn't really liking the dual action pull brush. This is a lot nicer and easier on the hands, doesn't cramp up as much. By no means am I sponsored by Iwata, but if you're listening, I'm more than happy to do some partnership, wink wink. I really like this brush. It has a really nice wide spray, real even flow. Would recommend 10 out of 10 times. Now to frame things up. Gonna seal everything up with a nice single continuous bead of hot glue. Now to put Cloud and Aerith into place. Dope! Let's stick him down with some hot glue to make sure he doesn't move. Cause he's gonna live in this diorama forever.
Forever, 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 forever.
I've taught Aerith how to levitate, so here's her doing that magic trick. Here I am mixing up some epoxy resin to put down a top coat, just to make sure that no micro bubbles form during the actual pour. Let that spread out across the base. Now here I am mixing up the real pour. This is a 3-to-1 mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Now to add some colored dye to make it blue. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. That looks pretty good. Want to make sure I get this in carefully without getting all over the place.
Three days later.
Now time to demold. So first thing is to get rid of that hot glue. Now if you have any tips on preventing the foam from sticking to the mold, please let me know. This is something that I struggle with. As you can see, taking it apart really left a lot of rough edges around the sides. So what I need to do next is sand it down using a random orbital power sander. And this is what you get. Next, I'm going to go through a series of different levels of grits and wet sand this down to a nice clear polish. So FYI, I went from a level 120 grit to 400 to 600 to 1000 to 1500 to 2000 to 3000, then wrapping it up with 7000. To finish it off, I'm going to use a microfiber cloth and some actual car polish. So I cut up this XPS foam into small pieces to frame the diorama. For this next step, I wouldn't recommend, but I did it for some reason because I'm an idiot. I used this Dremel to whittle down the excess frame. As you can see, it made a huge mess. It looks as though a volcano erupted and just a bunch of ash fell down on top of my diorama. And that concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you aren't already subscribed by now, please do. Subscriptions, comments, and channel engagement such as smashing that like button really helps my channel grow. And if you enjoyed this video, click here to watch my other video of my Ruby weapon diorama build. And also click here to watch my other video of my Hell House build. Until then, see you next time. Bye.